what happened during that time is having an impact on us today. Everything that's going on around us is a direct result of what took place back with the ending of the Cold War. And what we don't want to see is another Cold War. And so it's important that we learn about this story, that he gets to be able to explain to people, and we get the message out of what happened and why we have to understand where we came from, why we're here, and where we're going. And where we're going is not going to be good if we don't understand where we came from, okay, and why we're here. So that's what we're trying to get. We're trying to get the message out, and we want to stay on track. There's a lot of people that try to pull him off track, no pun intended. We're talking about the railroad and all that. But they're trying to distract him from what his mission is. And I understand his mission really well after spending so much time with him and working on the research material behind this project we're working on. And we need to really keep him focused on track and not get him off on other tangents. And people will try to derail him everywhere you go. But my job and what I'm trying to do is keep him on track and make sure that he doesn't get derailed, because the message is very important that we have to get out.
Well, what is let's we've got about 9 minutes left, Lee. The funds that you have, it's tied up in court. It's been in court.
No, I won the court case. It's tied up in the U.S. Treasury in there. And what was that called? The reserve account. That $32.8 trillion is in 4 accounts in the U.S. Department of the Treasury, and it's under the reserve account. There's 4 accounts in my name. One for me to pay my taxes, which I'm not disputing, and the principal, and probably other taxes, or maybe in Austria, because I live in Austria since June 30th, 1988. I'm not a resident of the United States. I've been kidnapped. I'm a political prisoner. So I'm sure it's taxes I have to pay in Austria, probably taxes I have to pay in Moscow or in Singapore or other states, because I just released 2,000 tons of gold bullion that we purchased under Operation Still Point, New Republic. So I have to pay taxes. I transferred it back to the Russian Federation only because they were thinking about seizing that gold without paying me. How much do I have to keep being seized on? So that's about 75, according to my attorney, 75 billion. I thought it was 82 billion, so somebody's got a tax on it already, which is probably in Clothing, the Swiss. That's fine. But I've been sitting around trying to build something, and they keep getting slapped in the face.
What?
And I don't understand that.
What about bricks? We've been there's a lot been coming across the BRICS, B-R-I, Brazil, Russia, India, and China.
Yeah, China and Russia, Brazil, and other countries have all formed up. About 135 countries are going to not trade in the U.S. dollar because it doesn't exist, and they refuse to trade in the Federal Reserve note and have anything to do with the IMF because they cannot afford to be managed by the IMF or NATO or European Union. And even Merkel and Germany, they're going back to the Deutschmarks. Everybody's going back to their trade currency, their national currency, because nobody can be trusted. Nobody tells them the truth anymore. So they got together and formed the BRICS, a new development bank, and that's going to compete. How much do they have? About $100 billion first installment to take down the Federal Reserve note and ignore the U.S. dollar and petrodollars. We're screwed and tattooed because we're stupid. We know what to do, but politicians won't allow us to do it. The administration that hasn't shown up yet won't allow it. And under the Reagan administration, we would not be in this predicament right now. Because we were all out of that. We got rid of the Cold War. We got rid of what was that, Berlin Wall. We got rid of all the crapola. Everybody was happy under the Reagan administration. And now we got trash.
Is it possible that the Russians and the Chinese, after being under communism for 90 years or so, 100 years, is it possible they just got sick of it and wised up, and they may be the good guys now?
They are the good guys now because they want to preserve the United States so when they buy it, lock, stock, and barrel, they don't have to rebuild. They're not stupid. There was $1.3 trillion that I have authorized and recommended and has been approved for me to buy the Chinese debt. 1.3 trillion face value, par value. I would buy them with my funds, and I guarantee you, I would never default on the United States. So when I owed the United States Department of Treasury any tax money, I would flip a coupon like the old ladies and pay them with the U.S. Treasuries that I purchased or assigned from the People's Republic of China. So they have no leverage on us. But no, we need a boogeyman out there. We gotta talk sassy. I'm in America. How can I'm trying to buy our freedom.
And Lee has no hidden agenda. I mean, from what I could tell, from what I've learned about him, is that he's just wanting to do what's right. He wants to get the funds back into our economy to put it to stop restraining us. Instead of having to go to all these specialty groups and people that have these agendas that are wanting to put money into their own pockets, and do think it's a selfish world we live in, where people are all worried about their own self. But we need to worry about the country and the Constitution and the people, and that's what Lee's trying to do with his funds. And he's doing what President Reagan asked him to do. Okay, that's what President Reagan asked him to do, right, Lee?
Mandated me to do.
Okay, he mandated you to do that. Okay.
Well,
that's important.
I have told people that one of the first thing that a communist regime does if it takes over a country, they go after three classes of people in order. They go after the farmers first because they don't want you being able to feed yourself. They go after the intelligentsia next, anyone smart enough to know what they're trying to pull. And third, they go after the veterans and the law enforcement that are still loyal to the old regime.
Correct.
And
absolutely correct.
The ninth plank on the Communist Manifesto is corporate farms. Can you say Monsanto? Can you say Archer Daniels Midland? I want to restore the self-sufficient family farm. I want to make every one of these farms energy independent, just like they've done in Germany.
Family owned.
And grow non-genetically modified foods.
Right.
I mean, rats won't eat this corn.
Right.
That Monsanto's trying to feed your children, and you
So
wonder why we're sick.
Smarter than us.
Well, again, we can change this, and I'm putting in my application. I want to restore the family farms in America.
All over America and everywhere else we can help. Even in Mongolia, you used to come to us in the old days under Reagan in Mongolia. If we would do anything with their potatoes, they had so much potatoes, they were looking for things to do with all their potatoes. So we can help other countries, and they can help us. But to ignore them is stupid.
That's right. This is a global thing. Our enemy is the New World Order, and I've told people there ain't no such thing as the New World Order. It's the Old World Order. What we have to do is just reform it and make it more like America was supposed to be.
And that's why Reagan called us a great nation, America.
Yes.
He knew. He wasn't stupid.
No, he wasn't. No,
it's all
he
about
wasn't.
the American dream, and the American dream is still exists, and people, want to believe that they can earn their own income and earn their own way, provide jobs for their family members, and be able to
education, lower the taxes.
By the way, I have two things up on my website. One is Timothy Bible College, and the other is the Little Red Schoolhouse. We can educate your children at home. We don't have to have any more Sandy Hooks or Columbines. We got the ability to educate the children and let them graduate online. And the same thing with Timothy Bible College. I'm working on my master's degree in political science with Timothy Bible College.
And the states should take their education department back. They're big boys.
We did that. It's all accredited. Timothy Bible College is accredited in Texas. And I'm back in Texas.
Federal education because it doesn't work.
I'm
Well,
back in Texas.
unionized education never did work, and that's the problem. We got to get unions out of the schools.
All right, we're out of time. The links to all this will be up on my website, freeamerican.com, in 5 minutes here after the show. And we're out of time. Lee Wanta.
Hey, thank you. Lon, thank you.
Discover what's really going on in news that mainstream media won't tell you. Are you frustrated with your elected politicians? Get the news behind the news at truthradio.com. At Truth Radio, you can listen live or listen to a large selection of archived programs on demand. Listen when you want to. truthradio.com.